Question 2.
Okay, here's another question. And we're kind of still on the early days, and this is just in my mind. I remember in 2010, two amazing parts of after the awards, you got your ring. Mm-hmm. You don't wear your Iron Man ring anymore.
No, I wore it for 1 year after.
You were super proud.
I was so proud.
I don't know if people know that the champions get custom rings.
Yeah.
Iron Man World Championship rings.
Yeah, they're little M-Dot gold rings.
Yep. You came off the stage and you said, if you like it, then you should put a ring on it.
I remember we'd had a lot of wine.
A lot of wine, yeah. If you hear champagne popping at the awards, it's our table.
Yeah.
100% of the time, it's our table.
100% of the time.
But then I remember we were walking out and you're like, I'm the king of the world.
Oh.
What movie is that from?
It isn't from Titanic.
I think it's from Titanic,
yeah.
Standing on the bow of the ship.
We weren't walking out of awards. We were walking
was it the
back
next day?
down. No, we were walking back down to the finish line after the race.
Yeah, for midnight.
That evening, we were going down for the midnight finish, and some random age ripper, I guess, who had finished said something like, congrats, I heard you won the race. That's amazing. How do you feel? And I'm like, I'm the king of the world. Yeah.
And whoever it was like,
what?
Okay, I'll see you later.
Yeah. Totally didn't think it was funny or just thought I was a weirdo. But he's reminded me of that many times since. It's just the first thing that came to my mind.
Oh, that's so good. I don't even know if I have a question with that. I think I just wanted to tell that story. I don't wanted Rinny to talk about that story.
There's a lot of behind the scenes.
Yep.
I'll think of some good ones for you. I was actually going to bring you back to 2011.
Yep.
Your first ever Kona.
Mm-hmm.
Your parents came out.
Yep.
Which was awesome to come and support you. And then you were super excited. I remember we were staying in elite villas, which have 0 air conditioning.
So hot.
And I'd stayed there in 9, I stayed there in 10, and so I'm like, we're staying in elite villas because that's just where I stay. I've got second, I've got first, I'm not changing this. And basically melted him before the race. But
that wasn't the only mistake I made.
No,
there was a lot of them.
I was going to say the big mistake was I just come home and he'd gone to the grocery store, and I have never seen so much junk food in my life. He was just like, yes, I've got 2 days because we had a carbo loading plan. So
laid out.
Yeah, but you ate different things than I would have eaten.
You were smarter. You were
it was super simple, super cheap, pancakes and stuff like that, mix it, and just ate tons of it. Just he's like, I need to eat all of this stuff, and I think that's what made him sick. And then after that, he realized he was gluten intolerant, which was good to learn on your first time, I guess. Not wait many years down the track and have other issues. But what I wanted to talk about was, which is it's not a great thing to talk about, but on the bike, you were going so bad, and you were feeling so bad that the women's leader came up and actually passed you. And tell us about that moment and what actually happened.
Well, I think we need to set some backstory here. I was super fit. I'd only done one Ironman. I'd done Ironman Texas. I had a great battle with Eneko Llanos. Is that what he says?
Yep. That's was one of the greats of the sport.
Yeah, one of the absolute greats. Time out.
He said keep going.
Okay, we're back on.
Yeah.
So I had this, my first Ironman Texas, had a great battle. It was the first North American champs or U.S. champs back then.
Yep.
Great battle with Eneko. I caught him 19 miles into the run, and then he dropped me again. But I was super this is going to be an amazing Kona.
Yeah.
And they just changed the points system, right? So I was ranked second off of the new points system.
Oh, that's right. So you had a super high.
So I was had a super high. And I remember Crowy being, and we were friends. What's this guy doing so high up?
He's a second Ironman.
Yeah, he's never even been to Kona. So, I was underweight too. the only time in Kona I've been under 160 pounds. And I remember looking back and seeing pictures like on the beach pre-race, and it's just too thin. And I think for me, sometimes when think I'm in a great position, then maybe I get a little, I don't know, the mental side of my mental game isn't where it should be. I'm not ready to fight as much because I expect a great result. Mm-hmm. Anyways, good swim, in their front pack. And then I start pedaling squares. I can't go anywhere. And then I lose the group and I just start vomiting all over myself. And I'm like trying to get up the climb to Javi, and Julie comes whizzing by. And she's like, "Hey, Tia." Oh. She sees me covered in vomit.
She's looking like poetry in motion.
And then she just kind of laughs and she just goes, and Julie's now my coach. We still joke about that. Good friend. And I remember I'm like, obviously I'm not, like, I'm out. I can't finish this race. I actually ended up having a fever. I had a fever that night. And I was just trying to get back to T2 before you passed me. And I saw another female coming as I was, like, coming, like, down off by Target, coming off of the Queen K.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And I'm like, oh, my gosh, I just got to get to the finish line. And it ended up being Chrissy, so.
Yeah.
But, yeah, then I pulled out and went home with my tail between my legs.
And then that night you had a fight with a local, just about?
Yes, I went to the store to, I think I tried to get some Advil or something.
Yeah. Because I think I was...
Or a thermometer to check my temperature, maybe. Because I had 100 and something.
Yeah.
And I forget why, but I'm like, right now I'm almost getting in a fight with locals.
No, because I think you wanted to go just around a barrier on the run course that was already
the
shut.
run course was already opened. It was that late. And I moved a barrier, and then they got all upset. I'm like, the road's open. They just haven't come and moved the barriers yet.
Yeah. You were so mad.
I was so mad. I didn't think I'd ever go back to Kona.
Thankfully you did.
But I did. And I keep going back.